Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another Fiery Fun stream. I am your host, the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So, there has been quite a bit going on this week. I mean, it's been a little overwhelming, but that's honestly a little bit about what I'll talk about throughout the stream itself. What is it? San Diego Comic-Con is going on right now, which sounds very exciting, but they're announcing a lot more cards that are coming out, and we're only literally a week away from Edge of Eternities, which I'm super hyped about, but they're kind of killing the hype a little bit because they just revealed a bunch of the Spider-Man cards, and I think there's even an Avatar card that's getting promoted right now. Good lord, we're just moving way too fast here, but that's, again, neither here nor there for the time being. We're here, of course, today to play for a couple more decks before we actually get to Edge of Eternities in a week. So what exactly are we going to be playing for the remainder of this week to wrap up the rest of Final Fantasy? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's just jump into it right now and let's show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so with that, here we are. Awesome, yay. Okay, so this is actually a card that I honestly kept debating back and forth. Do I want to play this card now? Because there is one card from Edge of Eternities where I think this actually would be an amazing card, but you know what? I decided, let's not wait anymore. I really do want to play with this card, so we're gonna have some fun with it today. So the card we're talking about here is Hope Estheim. What is it? Estheim? I can't pronounce that. But anyway, you get the idea. The whole point is we're going to try to see if we can mill out our opponents as much as possible with a bunch of life gain and mill cards themselves. So they're literally going to be called Life for Mill because that's literally what we're doing today. So that is the whole game plan. But before we continue, as always, let's go over again how this works. For those of you who are brand new to the streams, or if you're watching this on the replay, we're going to go over, of course, the stats of the deck, and then we'll go over every single card that is in this deck itself. We'll play the budget versions you're going to see right here. And if you are interested in seeing what we can do if we want to take this deck to the next level, we can definitely upgrade this deck halfway through the stream itself. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and let's go into it right now. So, long-time viewers of the channel know how we do it. Hold on. Wait, hold on one second, everybody. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, something is going on distracting off the side, everyone. Hold on one second. Hold on. Hello? Okay, sorry about that, everyone. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a action backstage over here, so sorry about that. In any case, let's go ahead, let's continue on, because again, we want to get this going here, and I don't want to delay us too much more. So, let's go ahead and let's jump back into it. I do apologize for that, everybody. Okay, so breathing in, breathing out here. Okay, so long-time viewers of the channel know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So our Life for Mill deck today is going to be Azorius colors. We're looking at an average mana curve about 2.3. That means we're going to be rocking white and blue. We're going to be utilizing a total of 31 creatures in the deck. Excuse me. Something went down my throat there. Oh, Dan Splendid, thanks again for joining us today. Good morning, my fire friend, or I think it's good evening for you. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. We're covering the stats right now, and we're going to jump right into it in just a little bit. So we're going to be rocking 19 instants, 2 sorceries, 5 artifacts, 14 enchantments, 1 battle, and 31 lands in total. All right, so Jumping back over to the main deck itself here, we're going to be looking at, of course, Hope Estheim here. So it is an Azorius commander here. That means white and blue, 2/2, legendary creature, human wizard, and he has lifelink attached to him. And it says, at the beginning of your end step, each opponent mills X cards, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. So we're going to see if we can try to do a bunch of milling, and it's going to be hilarious if we can pull this off, actually. So we're going to see if we can at least get maybe one victory here, just literally through milling itself, and I hope we can pull this off today. We just need to get a ton of life gain, which is great for us because we can sponge a bunch of hits. We want to draw a bunch of cards. And of course, we just want to do some general milling. So that's the idea with the whole deck. Did you know that up to 500, you got up to 517 subscribers? Wow, that's awesome, my friend. I'm happy for you. Keep that growth going. It is not going to be easy, but again, you can totally do it. I do believe in you. I do believe in you. That's good. So let's go ahead. Let's cover now all the cards in the deck because it's going to take a little bit of time here, but I'm going to try to get through it as quick as I can. So starting at the top here, we have a Johnny's Welcome. Anytime a creature enters, we gain 1 life. So that hits our game plan going here. We have Cleric class. Anytime we would gain 1 life, we can also get 1 extra life on top of that. Anytime we gain life at level 2, we can put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. And at level 3, we can then return a creature card from our graveyard back to the battlefield. We gain life equal to the creature's toughness. So this can help us, of course, just stabilize a ton here. We have Healer's Hawk here, again, flying a lifelink, gets us some life in the air. Hinterland Sanctifier, similar to a Johnny's Welcome. We have several effects like this, so it's going to give us, of course, 1 life every time a creature enters. We have Luna Vanguard here. At the beginning of combat, if we have 3 or more creatures, it gets a +1/+1 pump, and also we gain 1 life. Light of Hope here, destroys an enchantment, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, or we can gain 4 life. Lunarch Veteran, same thing, just like the Hinterland Sanctifier here. Anytime a creature enters, we can also gain 1 life with it. If it does end up dying, however, we can then bring it back as a Spirit Cleric. Anytime a creature does die, we still can gain 1 life. Market Gnome here, nice little blocker in the early game here. If it does die, we can gain 1 life and draw a card. We honestly don't care about the secondary ability because we're not crafting, so don't worry about that. Restoration Magic here, one of our few massive protection spells overall. Really nice for us. So Restoration Magic, for 1 mana at tier, at Cure, it can be giving a permanent hexproof and indestructible. For an extra mana at Kira, it can give a permanent hexproof and indestructible, plus we can gain 3 life. And at Kiraga, ideally meaning we pay, again, 5 life? That can give our entire team, like everything we own, hexproof and indestructible, and we can gain 6 life. So great for us to scale up as the game progresses. Ruin Lurker Bat here, flying and lifelink. If we do descend for a turn, we can scry for 1, which is Nitro Fixing. Soul Ward here is obviously our best life gainer here because anytime a creature enters, no matter where it comes from, we can gain 1 life. Creatures from our side or our opponent's side. Traveling Minister here, we can just simply tap this down. So it's not as strong as the other ones here because we have to tap it to make it work, and you can only do it at sorcery speed. Gives one of our creatures an extra +1/+0 pump and gain 1 life. Merfolk Wind Robber here doesn't really gain us life, but it helps us with the mill plan here. Anytime we do a combat damage with it, we can then mill a card. We can sacrifice it later on to draw a card. However, we can only activate that at 8 or more cards in an opponent's graveyard. Metamorphic Blast here technically is more than 1 mana here, but it has a spree mechanic. So we can then turn one of our opponent's creatures into a rabbit with 0/1, or we could simply just draw some cards. Overwhelmed Apprentice here enters, just mills us 2, then we can scry 2. Ruin Crab here. Then, of course, I'm sure we have to have this crab in here. So landfall ability means that anytime a land enters, we can then make our opponent mill 3 cards. Fountain of Renewal is just passive life gain for us here. Just beginning of our upkeep, we can gain 1 life. Sacrifice it later on to help us just draw a card. In the 2-drop slot, this is again where things get a lot more exciting for us. I'm sure no one has to know how this card works. A Johnny's Pride here, amazing staple for, of course, for any life gain deck. Anytime you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on the Pride Maid. Battle menu here, you can choose to either make a 2/2 White Knight creature token. You can then give a creature pump of +0/+4 toughness. You can destroy a creature with power 4 or greater, or so you can just gain 4 life. Good overall, no matter where we're at. Essence Channeler is a much more pumped up version of a Johnny's Pride Maid here. Anytime we gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on the creature. If it dies, you can put the counters onto a creature we control. So we can transfer it over to something else if it ends up dying for us. Or anytime we've lost life this turn, the creature will get flying and vigilance. Griffin Airy here. Anytime we can gain 3 or more life in a turn, we can then make a 2/2 white Griffin creature token with flying. Hallowed Priest here, similar to a Johnny's Pride Maid here. It also allows us to gain some life anytime we put +1/+1 counters on it. Kabir Takedown here. It can either be a tap land in a pinch, or we can use it as spot removal, just deal with a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Nyx Fleece Ram here, similar to Fountain of Renewal, just helps us gain some life. It's also a good blocker for us at any point in the game. Razorgrass Ambush here. It can be spot removal for us, or it can, of course, be a land. We have Revitalize here, gain 3 life, and just simply draw a card. Sentry's Shelter here gives us protection, or again, it could be a tap land. We have Sheltered by Ghost here. Excellent spot removal for us. Put it onto a creature. We can then exile the non-land permanent and opponent controls. Give our creature, of course, a +1/+0 pump and lifelink and ward 1. Skyclave Cleric, it can either enter and then gain us 2 life, or it could be a tap land if we needed to. Sunset Revelry here, depending on how our board state looks, can give us a ton of value or maybe a little bit of value. It really depends. If an opponent has more life, we can gain 4 life. If an opponent has more creatures, we get to create 2/2 1/1 white human creature tokens. If an opponent has more cards than us, we can just simply draw a card. Take up a shield here, again for more protection for us, gives a creature lifelink and indestructible with a +1/+1 counter on it. Birth of Meletis here, we can either use this to dig out a plains card, we can then create a wall, and then we gain some life. Daxos Blessed by the Sun here gives us life no matter whether a creature enters or it dies. It works well for us. Voice of the Blessed is also then one of our best life gain payoffs here. Gives a creature +1/+1, and as long as we have 4 more counters on it, it can get Flying and Vigilance, and as long as there's 10 or more, it can get Indestructible for us. Bayeen Veil here, mostly it's just meant to be either a tap land, but most likely it might end up just being something that can help us out here. Just gives us a little bit of leeway to sponge, of course, to go wide hits. Wall of Lost Thoughts here simply enters and then makes our opponent mill 4 cards. Azorius Charm here gives one of our creatures either lifelink, or actually all of our creatures lifelink. That's actually pretty nice. We can also either draw a card or tuck away an opponent's attacking or blocking creature onto our opponent's library. Faithful Mending here, just draw 2 cards, gain 2 life, and we can flash it back for 3. Staggering Insight here, enchant a creature to give it a +1/+1 lifelink, and anytime we deal combat damage with the card, we can then simply draw a card. Environmental Science here, uses to help us dig out a basic, of course, and we can gain 2 life. Abiding Grace here, our 3 mana slot will allow us to either gain at the beginning of our end step either 1 life, or we can bring back a creature card with a mana value of 1 or less from our graveyard to the battlefield. Aerith Gainsborough here, another great Final Fantasy card for us, and does the exact same thing as the Pride Maid. It does the same thing as the Hallowed Priest. You get the idea here. Gains life, and then put +1/+1 counters on it. If Ares, however, does die, because we don't want her to die, but if she ends up dying, put the X +1/+1 counters on each legendary creature we control, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on Aerith here. So we can put these either on Hope or something else that can help us, of course, make sure we can redistribute them. Angel Vitality here. Anytime we gain life, we can gain extra point of life, and anytime we have more than 25 life, we can also make this a 4/4. Inspiring Overseer here. Enters. It's a flying angel. Gain 1 life, draw a card. We also have Invasion of Dominaria here. Enters, gains 4 life, and draw a card. If we manage to flip over it into an angel, it becomes Sarah's Faithkeeper here. So it has Flying and Vigilance as an angel. Pretty nice for us. Also, we have Core Celebrant here. Same thing, it just stacks up a ton of life gain for us. Anytime a creature or another creature, this creature or another creature we control enters, gain 4 life. Light of Promise here. This is also another one of our big payoffs here. Anytime we gain life, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. So this is an amazing aura for us to just pump up something and give it an insane amount of power if it just stick. Priest of Ancient Lord, just like the just like the Inspiring Overseer here, it just allows us to just draw a card, gain 1 life. Ritual Rejuvenation gains us 4 life and draw a card. Hydroelectric Specimen here. We can use this to redirect the target of an instant or sorcery back to it, or it can just be a land for us. And then we have a bunch of our mill cards here that just help us with the game plan here. They don't really work with the life game, but just helps us mill anytime we draw a card. So cards like Psychic Corrosion here, Sphinx's Tutelage, Teferi's Tutelage, all of them do mostly the same thing, which is great for us. Although Sphinx's Tutelage is mostly the best one for us, because if 2 non-land cards that share a color were milled this way, we can keep repeating the milling process. We'll have Celindi's Vision here, either as a tap land for us, or you can use it to dig 6 cards deep to get an instant or sorcery out. Didn't Say Please here, and Thought Collapse do the same thing here. Anytime we can counter a spell, we can just make our opponent mill 3 cards. Refute here is another one of our counter spells here, but also we have to draw a card and then discard a card. Sink into Stupor here allows us to just bounce back a spell or a non-land permanent and opponent controls to their hand, or it can be a tap land. Dovone's Acuity here, really good for us because, again, you'll notice that we don't really play a lot of our instances at instant speed, if you will. What mostly we want to do is just play them on our main phase, because we want to try to get the most value out of Hope, because Hope's ability only works on our end step. It doesn't work on our opponent, so we want to try to get as much of that on our time. So Dovin's Acuity here, it enters, draw a card, gain 2 life, and anytime we cast an instant spell during our main phase, bounce back the Dovin's Acuity to then repeat the process whenever you want to. Koala, we actually talked about this card on its own as its own standalone deck tech, but it's great for our deck, of course. Anytime we can gain some life, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It can also sustain itself by gaining life, and if it attacks other attacking creatures we control, we get plus X and +0, where X is the number of counters on Koala itself. So great for us. Star Charter here it's a Bat Cleric. At the beginning of our end step, if we gain or lost life in a turn, we can look 4 cards deep at our library, bring out a creature card with a power 3 or less, and put it into our hand. So great for us to kind of help just churn through our deck. Witch Enchanter here gains, it can either be artifact or enchantment hate, or we can use it as land. Exemplar of Light here, another one of our great ways we can just keep providing for us value for us. This angel allows itself to gain life. We put +1/+1 counters on it. Anytime we put +1/+1 counters on it, we can then simply draw a card. We can only, however, do this once each turn, which is annoying, but it's okay. It works still perfectly for us. The Wind Crystal here and the Water Crystal allows us to make each of our white spells and blue spells one less to cast. However, the Wind Crystal here is perfect for us because anytime we gain life, we can gain double that life. So good for us for milling. And the Water Crystal also supports us with the milling because anytime we would mill 1 or more cards, you get to mill that many cards +4 instead. Finally, their final abilities here can also give our creatures lifelink and flying, or the Water Crystal here can give us a ton of extra mill power for us for the deck. To round out the package here, of course, we'll have 2 more creatures here, Elite Guardmage in the 4-drop slot and Cloud Blazer in the 5-drop slot. They mostly do the same thing. They're both flyers, they both are humans, and also when they both enter, we can gain some life and then draw some more cards. Dispose/Deploy is the final card here at the top end of the curve, although technically it's not really the top end because the way it's just mentioned, it technically says 6, but it's actually only either 4 or 2 cast. So you can either use it as a tempo play here to tap a creature and then make them draw, or we can draw a card, or we can use the deploy side to make a couple of Thopters and then gain life for each creature we control. Whew. Okay, and then to wrap it up here with the land base here, again, we want to try to keep this simple because it is a budget deck. So we're going to be utilizing here 12 plains, 6 islands, and then we'll use some the cheap tap lands here. So we have Abandoned Campground here, Gates of Istenfell, Lonely Arroyo here, Port Town, Razor Tide Bridge, Skybridge Towers, Tranquil Cove, Broker's Hideout, and we have Obscura Storefront. These are actually pretty good for us in terms of the fetch lands because although they're cheap, they can still gain us some life, which still does trigger off Hope itself. We have Command Tower as a staple here. Demolition Field is our staple non-basic land hate. Escape Tunnel for, again, more fetching along with Evolving Wilds to round out the package. And that is the whole deck for you, everybody. Is it possible for us to then gain a ton of life and mill out our opponent in one game? Well, there's only one way to find out. So, whew, let's go ahead, let's jump into a game now, and let's see how well this deck does. All right, so we'll go for life for mill. And again, if you're interested and you do like what this deck is doing, we'll see what we can do to upgrade this deck later on into the stream itself to see how well it does. Okay, so let's get this going here, and while we're loading this up here. All right, so Dan Splendid also starting to catch up with the chat here. Also, other good news, I passed my exams as well. 2 A++s and a B+ grade. Nice! Proud of you, my man. You did it. Happy for you. So you should definitely feel good about yourself for that. But also, Swords of Plowshare is now uncommon to craft it, and you can put it into your deck. Oh, that's right. Thanks to the Final Fantasy said, Swords of Plowshare is now actually an uncommon. You can spend a rare on that. So, Wizards, if I can get a refund on some of my rares, that would be greatly appreciated. Obviously, I know they're not going to do that, but that actually is nice for future gamers out there that actually do want to craft the cards. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead, let's see what we got here. All right, so we got the Nyx Fleet's Ram, got Sunset Revelry, Light to Promise. Okay, this is a pretty good hand here. We can definitely get the life gain going here. The only tricky part, of course, is just determining when we want to start gaining life and when we want to put out Hope, because Hope does mean that we need him out as soon as possible. Our opponent, however, is going to be playing something degenerate because they have Kinnan here, so we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, let's get Hope down. Alright, just tap just to gain the incremental life and mill the first card. So we need to try to see how fast we can try to mill with Hope, which, again, this deck is not built around that. It's mostly just built around mid-range value life gain. But we'll see what we can do here. Okay, put the mill is... Okay, so here's how we do this. First, Kinnan's got to go. Cannot have him stay alive. Does our opponent actually have... Do they actually have something for us? Depart the realm. Oh, jeez. Okay, they already are playing in that realm. That's annoying. Just gain the life. Okay, so our opponent is going to start playing a lot of probably tempo stuff, and I'm probably going to be really annoyed by this. We're going to see. We can still see if we can try to get around it. Hold on also 1 second, everybody. Alright. Say no to bots. Any case here, let's see. Let us... How do we want to do this here? I guess we'll just have to play Hope again. Opponents. We have replicating rings, so... Do we have more stuff here? Rainstorm. Okay. Drawing cards here. Opponents. Dead Splendid. Still no loyal rarity for Reanimate or Dark Ritual and some other cards. It would be nice if we could get those at lower rarity, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to let us have those. At least not for common. I'm pretty sure Dark Ritual's forever going to be on Arena a rare. But we'll see. Okay, Hope mills another card. Okay, so we milled a counterspell. That's good. Okay. Just want to start getting... Just don't want to deal with Kitten's shenanigans here, but we will try to see what we can do to get around it. Birthing Melodius. Opponents. Okay, now they're trying to do their shenanigans. Okay, they got a coma. Oh, come on. You really got to deal with that already? Okay. It's fine, everyone. We just got to start sponging hits here as best we can. Not fun, but we're going to have to make it work. So, yeah. I do agree. Timeless is slightly cheaper. Not by much, but it is. Let's see. Put it on Hope. Gain some life. Gain some more life. No longer can swing, so we're just going to have to literally just keep sponging hits. Mill 2 cards. Okay. Not the most exciting right now, but Kitten here is absolutely busted. Like, it just drives me nuts that this card, like, the card is just so ridiculously tough to get through. Especially because they're in colors that are easily able to enable a ton of cards here. Look at that. Look at that. Already? Oh boy. Okay. We make a defender. So with that, I guess we will... Let's see here. How do we do this? Okay. Only Arroyo. And then, I guess, Sunset Revelry. This does help us get a bit of life going. And we can make some more creatures, which is good. Opponents? Do you have an answer? Anything? Hello? Opponents? Okay, so we did get the life, which is good. And then, I guess we will... Doesn't really matter what we tap this on. We still gain life no matter what. Okay, opponents. Alright, there goes Hope. I guess you could say we're losing hope here. Oh, that... yeah, okay. That was a bad one, but I still liked it. Okay, so our opponent takes away our key way of getting our win here. This is going to be a very... Well, okay. You know what? I don't want to concede just yet. No tax yet. It is tempting to concede because I don't think we're going to be able to get through a coma, but we'll try for at least a couple turns. We can just get Hope out at least for another turn or so. Dang, that's a lot of mill we could have gotten. Okay. This is definitely not going to be a fun one. That's about it. Also, updates on my newest control burn deck. Seems decent. Like, no haha funny. But it can actually get you some wins. I mean, hey, win's a win, so we'll definitely take it. That's good. Opponent here is just going to be still... Just probably... Okay. Yeah. There's no way for us to get through this. We have completely lost control of the match because once they have brought out Coma... we already lost here. Well, alright. Faced off against a deck that's just chock full of value here. Again, I hate Kitten. It's probably one of my least favorite commanders to face off against just because of how ridiculous that card is. Wow, Ikoria Era. I mean, playing through that, man, it's just full of broken stuff here. Yeah. Disgusting. All right. You know what, opponent? You're taking too long here. I already know I'm going to lose, so we're just going to take the L on that one. I was not going to wait for them right there at this point. We could just be playing another match. So let's just jump into another match here. That was disgusting, by the way. That's okay. It's our first game. Not a big deal, everybody. Not a big deal. Let's go ahead. Let's see. We're going to try again here. We're trying to get a bunch of life gain to hopefully mill away our opponent's strategy. So hopefully we can do that here. Let's go. Let's give this another shot. You're broke on wildcards again? Bro, but we have another set coming out in like a week. Seriously, yeah. Actually, well, if we're counting arena players, that means what? As of today, 24? We're 5 days away from Edge of Eternities? I mean, I'm super excited for the set. I really look forward to this one here. Although right now at San Diego Comic-Con here in the States, they're already spoiling Spider-Man cards, and they already have a promo for Avatar, so take that how you will. I mean, that's kind of killing the hype a little bit for the set because I'm looking forward to the set, but if we're already announcing the next cards, it just feels like it's way too much going on. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, everybody? Are we moving too fast here? I think we're moving way too fast on trying to get everything going. Okay, so we got Galzareth Prismari here, so we're going to expect a lot of spell slinging, I'm guessing. Can we get through that, though? Let's see. So we're going to be dealing with a lot of tap lands to get started, but that's okay. Not a big deal. We do have enough lands overall mixed and matched with modals to hopefully get through everything. Priest of Ancient Lore. Okay, so with that, let's see here. We'll add their tap too. We haven't played in 2 whole weeks. I mean, okay, I guess that's fair. I realize that, yeah, you've missed out on a couple weeks, so that's a lot of gold lost. But that's okay. I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, you're definitely going to be at least jumping in now right when things get refreshed. Okay, Demolition Field. Griffin Airy. So we'll just kind of start setting up our support pieces if our opponent has not done anything just yet. One more land here would be nice. Okay. Griffin Airy doesn't really get a chance to do much yet, but hopefully we'll get there soon. Opponents, what you got? Well, our opponent's thinking about stuff right here. Let me know how your week's all been going, everybody. Hopefully you're all been having a good week so far. I mean, again, like, we've wrapped up now the spoilers for Edge of Eternities. There's a ton of cards to talk about here. I know I'm not really going to be too thrilled about the Spider-Man set per se, but, I mean, it'll still be fun. I'm sure it will. Excuse me. I have no idea how I'm going to cover Spider-Man, though, because the cards, of course, are going to be different in Arena. So I have no idea how it's going to work. We're going to try. Because in a friendly reminder, it won't be Spider-Man on Arena. It'll be like whatever generic thing they want, like human, spider, person, whatever. So we'll see how that all works out for us. Get the island. At least we have our mana fixed. Unfortunately, we cannot cast Ruin Lurker Bat, so that's a little awkward here, but that's okay. Okay, Prismari coming down. Come on, land. Another land here would be nice. No land. That's okay, though. Not a big deal for us. Let's see. How do we want to do this here? I guess... Priest of Ancient Lore? Hoping to draw another land. That's what we want. We'll see if our opponent allows us to do this. Okay, gain a life, draw a card. Come on, land. Nice. Okay. We did get our land drop. Okay, so at least now we're set up for what we need. I'm hoping our opponent doesn't go off here, but I'm kind of scared. We'll see. Bonehead Dragosaur. Okay. Oh, swings. Hey, don't forget, that's right, rotation's coming too. So at some point with rotation coming, we definitely want to actually go back into standard, because I do want to see how well standard is, all things considered. So we definitely want to do that. Okay. I'm going to swing here. Don't ask me why. I have a Galaxy Brain move here, of course. Okay, we do lose the card. Sunset Revelry. So gain some life there. We make some tokens. And mill 4 cards. Okay, we got the mill one going. But this is going to be very short if we don't have flyers quick. I'm hoping, though, we can at least start doing our thing. So let's see. With the Wind Crystal out. Chandra coming in. Alright, Chandra dressed to kill. She's going to ping. Yep. Pings. Makes a mana.
You're lucky this is a warning shot.
Okay, Grape Shot now. Okay, so they had Grape Shot already. That's unfortunate. It's okay. Put back to the command zone. Okay. Get a big swing here at us. No blocks. Okay, opponents. Go down to 18. So in a weird way, this is kind of where our life gain does matter a lot for this deck. Elite Guard Mage. We need another land. More lands would be great. Opponents. Alright, just let us have it. Gain 3 life, draw a card. That's minute. What's a common name? Well, okay, hold on. What's a common name for those lands that flip for different colors? AKA those rare Zendikar lands. I just call them the pathway lands. Mostly just because that's kind of what they are called. Like, all of them have pathway in the name, so that's kind of what I just call them. I guess it's the easy way to do it. I know The community just calls them the modal lands, but they're not. They don't flip from creature to land. But they're not wrong. All right, so opponent is thinking. The odd part is, as long as we can just maintain the life gain, hopefully we can just kind of slow things down a bit for our opponent here. We did mill a little bit. Not that much, though, because our opponent's playing big stuff. We're going to try. See if we can Chandra off the field. I don't think we will, but... Oh. Okay. Hey, we got her. Nice. Okay, we get to make another token, which is good. So we can use these as sponge hits if we need to. I'm just going to start making dinosaurs. We can also survive with Azorius Charm, which would be nice too. Another land actually would be really good here. The Wind Crystal also would be great. Man, we have a lot of good stuff here. We just need more lands. And we need our opponent to not actually attack. Easier said than done. Opponents. Bloody Betrayal. Stealing our stuff. That's not fair, opponent. Okay, what else we got? Are they going to sacrifice it? Make a blood token from that. So they do swing. So I guess at this point we're just going to start sponging hits. Alright, sponge hit there. We take 5. Go down to 16. Dennis, but in your opinion, Pathway lands or Pain lands, which are better? I mean, I guess it really depends on what your deck is trying to do. So, Pain lands are painful. I mean, if you have life gain or ways to offset the Pain lands, I think those are better. Because Pathway lands, you can choose what you want, but then you're stuck with one color. So, arguably, you want access to more colors. The more colors you have in your deck, the more likely Pathway lands may not be the ideal for you. I mean, if you're playing a 2-color deck, Pathway lands are not bad. If you're playing like maybe 3 or more colors, probably the Pain lands, even if they do hurt you a little bit here and there. It really, again, it depends on how you build your deck. But it is doable one way or the other. Okay, bringing back in Hope. Come on, we do need Hope for the deck, if you will. Opponents. Okay, so they do let it go. Okay, opponents. Okay, Thunder Salvo. Alright, so... well, I guess we'll Revitalize. Gain some life. Opponent does not want our creatures to survive, of course. Because Hope is literally what we hinge our whole deck on. Okay, Teferi's Tulip is okay. Dang. This is actually a little bit harder than I thought. I mean, during testing, we did really great, but we're not doing too well here. We'll try. Gain some more life. We do make another token. So at the very least, again, we have a very annoying strategy that we can slow down our opponent with, which has been so far working. We'll see if we can keep this going. Opponents. What else you got? Dense Money. Dimir Control, for an example. I did craft Pain lands. Okay. I mean, for Dimir Control, I guess that's fine. Only just because the Pain... Opponents. Crackle with Power. Alright. They're using a lot of their heavy stuff just to kind of keep our creatures in line. I mean, it is what it is. Block the dinosaur here. Block 1 here. Alright. I guess we'll just do it from there. Opponent, you have any other answers? The good news also is we do have a lot of enchantments, which it doesn't really have an answer for. At least not in your usual style. Okay, Dracosaur. Go down to 6. We definitely now need life gain. Like, right now. Ooh, Light of Promise. That's actually pretty good for us. That might actually help us out a bit. Ruin Worker Bats. Okay. Let's see here. Light of Promise. I guess we'll put it on the Griffin. Okay. Our opponent here obviously is going to try to counter this. I'm pretty sure they will. Oh, they don't. Opponent? Nothing. Okay. I guess maybe I should have used the spell, but we can save it now for Dracosaur here. This is still a tricky turn no matter what we do. We literally have to survive one hit here. Just one. Okay, Dracosaur. Keep getting more cards. I mean, they're not. We're not really milling them right at this point, but I mean, we kind of have what we need. Call him professional. All right. Damage can't be prevented now. Okay, opponents. Anything else? Anything else? Oh, they're the mill deck. Okay. Not what I was expecting, but okay. Wow. How did they mill more than us? That's embarrassing. Okay. It's fine. So with that, we will bounce away the Dracosaur. Got to keep that off the field. Okay. Opponents. You have one land open. Okay. So at least we can survive one hit here. We sponge. Okay. We lose our bat, unfortunately. That's okay. Oh. Soul Warden actually might not be too bad here. Let's see. Soul Warden. We play the Core Celebrant. Okay. Gain some life. This does power up Light of Promise here, so that's nice. Gain the life. And then, let's see, Daxos. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay, now we're getting some life back here. So we're now able to kind of sponge a little bit here. Just a smidge. But is this enough? We're literally surviving off of a token here. Let's see. No attacks. Got to keep it alive. Desmond, you're now trying to bling out a Dimir poison deck, soon to be Pioneer. Nice! I do have a poison deck myself that actually I've made in Pauper, so, I mean, it is actually a pretty easy strategy to work with here. Are you gonna, like, when you mean blinging it out, are you talking about just trying to make it, like, as strong as possible? Getting, like, the fancier versions of the cards? There we go. We actually went back up to 10. Okay, we're slowly stabilizing. We just really need Hope to come in. If Hope can just, like, actually come in, that actually would be helpful for us. Okay, now we got a big Griffin here. That's actually nice. Opponent's down to 3 cards. It's like, no. Come on! Alright. I don't know if we're going to be able to come back from that. Okay. Yeah. They screwed us over here a ton. Like, literally, I don't even know if we can... Okay. Like, I could try to rebuild, but I don't think we're going to be able to do it here. And then... Yeah. Dang. Opponent had that the whole time? That's not fun. Alright. We'll take the L. Dang, that was not good for us at all. Wow, we're just not pulling it off right now. I know we're only 2 matches in, but it's not looking too good. Kind of a shame, too. I had high hopes for this deck so far. But we're 0 for 2 today. That's unfortunate. I was hoping this deck was actually going to be able to pull off some better wins here. But again, during testing, it worked really well. We actually did get some wins. We managed to at least mill once, which I know this deck can do it. We just have to find kind of like the right matchup, I guess you could say. Oh, okay. It looks like we're playing against Mono Red. Theoretically, we do have an edge against Mono Red. We'll see if we can pull this off, though. All right, so in the meantime, Plains and Fountain of Renewal. All right, opponents, show me what you got. Bring it on.
It's time to do.
Okay, first bobble. So I'm feeling this one. I'm pretty sure this one we can get our victory in. Hinterland Sanctifier. Granted, the easy way with Hope would have been just, again, use the Heir Apparent clan, which is, again, just make a bunch of tokens, gain a ton of life off of them. But what fun would that be? Wait, first bobble. Sacking it. Trying to get their lands going. Get our life. Alright. Hinterland Sanctifier also gaining us more life. We swing. Mill 2 cards. Mill. Ooh, Ulamog off the top there. Whew. I'm glad that's out of the way. Opponent's getting all their wastes. We'll see if that actually helps us or hurts us. Gain some life again. Sphinx's tutelage. Alright. That's not too shabby for us. We will pay 3 though. And then Aerie. Gain some life. She gets pumped. Okay. So far so good. No attacks yet. Mill 2 more cards. We're milling, thankfully, the Eldrazi we don't want to deal with, so that's good. And our opponent is still taking their time to build other stuff. Old Sand Dragon. Ugh. Not good, but it's okay. We can sponge a hit here and there. It's not the worst. Okay. Aerie still gets a little bit more. Okay, Kabira Takedown might actually be helpful here for us. Nyx Fleece Ram. Gain some life again. Alright, we're doing it. Swing here. Do they block? Oh, that's beautiful. Alright. Gain a ton of life. What's nice about the deck is, as you see, we don't actually have to do combat damage. All we simply have to do is just keep up with the life gain any way we can, and we can just keep milling. There we go. Much better. Okay. Now we got our game plan going here. Gilded Lotus. Okay. Opponent still needs a ton to get to their commander, though, so it is definitely going to be a while. But that still helps us out a bunch. Because Aerie just keeps going higher and higher. Alright, so with that, Angel of Vitality. Alright, still getting life. And still gaining life. Alright. Block. There we go. Ooh, that's going to be a lot of milling. Oh my goodness, 17 cards. There we go. Alright, we're almost there. We're getting about the halfway point. But we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here. Hopefully, this will be enough. Alright, Bloody Betrayal. Oh, they have Bloody Betrayal. Wow. I guess a lot of decks do have an answer for us now. Alright, well, I mean, we can still... We're not going to bother blocking. We don't really care. Because either way, whether they use it up or not... Okay, they do. Okay, so they exile. Okay. Dang. Would have been nice to get those counters, but that's okay. We still have ways of getting around things here. No. Still doing their annoying little... That's not really alchemy, but they're still modified cards, because those are not what the cards originally do from the set, but... Oh well. Okay, it's fine, everybody. Elite Guard Mage. Alright. Gain some life. Gain some more life. Let's see. No attacks yet, but we do get to mill 3 still, which is still good. So we're not... We can still keep sponging hits, which is fine. Down to 45 for our opponent. Echo is returning. Okay. Ugh. We played this card before. We'll see if this actually hurts us. Sundering Titan. Oh, jeez. They do have Sundering Titan. Okay. So that means Hope dies. And they make an extra copy. Man. We were getting so close to just going off and doing our thing here. So they do get to destroy our lands. They have to destroy their own lands, though, too, which is interesting. Okay, back to the command zone you go. Okay, so... No blocks. We get sponge with hits. We have tons of life, which is not the problem. Just keep gaining life. Okay, so... Is there a way out of this now? I think this is tutelage. No attacks yet. We're gonna have to wait a little bit here. If we can at least get one more land again, Hope can still be redeployed, and we won't. And we still have a way of fighting our way out of this. Craving of Yinoghu? I cannot pronounce that. I'm sorry, I don't know. But in any case, yeah, the perpetual on this is not what the real card does. It's honestly alchemy nonsense. Our opponent is now starting to catch up, unfortunately, to us. Well, we had the edge for a little while, but they're pseudo-alchemy shenanigans are not helping at all. And we're taking a big hit here. Okay. So trying to gain some life. Draw a card. Make our opponent mill a little bit. Okay, so is there a way out of this? I don't know now. Not sure. Dang, we were doing so well. And then unfortunately had to play a Sundering Titan, Echoes of Eternity. Alright. I guess we don't have a choice here. Alright. Tap that, draw a card. Make our opponent mill. Oddly enough, because they're technically mono-red / colorless, you'd think the milling would actually go a lot easier here. Down to 11. Still gain some life. Thought collapse. Could have used that earlier, but oh well. Okay, Ritual of Rejuvenation. Gain some more life. Keep milling our opponents. Razor Tide Bridge. Alright. Well, we're pretty much down to one turn here, everybody, because I don't think we're going to have a way of getting around this, unfortunately. Even if we do block, there's not much we can really do at this point. Block a Sundering Titan. Go down to 3. And we are trying. Just keep the life gain and mill going. Okay. Okay, when it leaves the battlefield... Oh, they'd still trigger off. Even if we do our thing here. Okay. Well... yeah, there's just no way we can pull around this. We could try... Dang. Alright. Well, we didn't take that one either, everybody. Man, 0 for 3 today? I was hoping this deck was actually going to do a lot better. Unfortunately, we are facing off against opponents that are still, again, just doing better than us. But again, as a reminder for everybody, when it comes to playing budget, that is unfortunately what comes with the nature of playing budget decks. We cannot expect our opponents to be as fair as us. So that means even if we're playing on a budget, we will still sometimes get weighted against some of the most powerful decks out there. Although, it's supposed to be weighted based upon the strength of your deck. I wouldn't think, of course, a mill deck would then churn out some of the more annoying stuff out there, but here we are. Either way, it's not a big deal, everybody. I'm not going to get phased by it. We will still find a way. We can get a win today. I know we can. We totally can. Okay, let's get an island. All right, opponents, what you got? You're playing the Wandering Minstrel, which we played ourselves a little while ago, which is a fun card, although it's a little clunky to work around. So let's see. Our opponent is playing, maybe, is it a town deck, I'm guessing? Let's see if they actually are playing towns. Okay, Hope, coming down. Hopefully, see what I did there? Hopefully, seriously, though, maybe we can get a win with this one. Okay, opponents. Wandering Minstrel coming down already. Okay, well, if that's what our opponent wants to do, that's fine. We can... Teferi's Tutelage. So we can draw a card. And discard a card. Okay, what do we discard, though? I guess Wind Robber. Make our opponent do some milling. We swing. Of course, they'll block. But at least that gives us, again, 2 more cards to mill. So, gain 2. There we go. Let's get the milling going. So this gives us a little bit of an idea of what we got. Loot. Okay. Well, thankfully, we do have an answer for loot already in the deck. So as soon as we can get to that, we should be okay. The Plains. Star Charter. We unfortunately can't swing now because they can just block with bow, so we just got to wait it out for a turn. Hopefully, though, we can get there. Swamp. Someone's crying. Okay. So it is a town deck. Interesting choice. I was debating for a while, though. Did we want to play the Wandering Minstrel in 60 card? Which I tried. It didn't work too well, but maybe he's better actually in Brawl / Commander style. Okay, so let's see here. Tap land. Let's see. Is there any way we can deal with this? We could also keep up the counter spell. You know what? We'll wait it out. Still can't mill yet. We got Atroxa to mill, so it's good. What our opponent tries to do here. Oh, actually, we could destroy that now. Or the growing rights. Okay, we'll counterspell that. Phew. Okay. Let's throw away a card though. Daxos probably will have to go. Make our opponent mill 2 more. Okay, so their deck is a hodgepodge, from what I see. Still nothing yet. Just doing some milling. And Voice of the Blessed. Sedry Shelter. I guess we could swing here. Okay. Down to 21, our opponent's at 28. We just need a way to just start getting slow life gain, and we can start pumping up Voice of the Blessed here, and that should be okay for the rest of the game. Okay, opponent draws a card, discards a card. Okay. So, while we're still in the middle of this match here, let me know in the comments, everybody, what are your thoughts right now with some of the stuff that was revealed today from Comic-Con? So, what are your thoughts on the Spider-Man cards? Or the Avatar card that was released? I think it was a Katara card, which does look interesting. But we'll see if that's actually going to be something that's of value. Okay, thankfully our opponent is out of cards, so I think now we finally have the edge here. Put this on Star Charter, because that's the perfect thing we want to do. What's our biggest threat we want to deal with here? Let's see. I think we'll get rid of loot. That might be our biggest threat. So now we're in control of this match here. Down to 17. We start pumping up Voice of the Blessed and Airy. Gain life. We dig for a card. Nice. Got our Angel and make our opponent mill. There we go. Hopefully this time will be the game. Ambrosia, Wildheart. Okay, so they're playing pretty much all Chocobos here. So they bounce back. They're Fat Chocobo. Take another one. Okay, opponents. Do they swing? They do. And swing. Okay, do they get a land? If they get a land, okay, if they do, annoying. So, let's see here. Do they draw? They do. Okay. We'll sponge the hit, so we could easily get back the life, so that's not a problem for us. Angel Vitality. Traveling Minister. Swing here. Down to 13. We might actually get them just with a beatdown plan. Not what I was expecting, but okay. We'll take it. Okay. Mill 5. Dig out Core, Celebrant. Okay. Still in the control of the match. Okay, if our opponent pumps up Choco here. Okay, so they do draw a card. Pump up the land. Oh, opponent, you shouldn't have done that. So, battle menu. Destroy the Choco. There we go. There we go. Okay, so they're digging out for another basic land or a town card. I mean, that's fine. That still pumps up everything regardless, which is annoying, but that's not the worst for us. We still have ways of still pumping out stuff here. They make their birds. Choco at least will not get value, so that's good. That's what we want to try to avoid. Okay. So their swings here can be strong, but it's not the worst for us. Okay, so they do draw 3. Okay. We're at 49, so we're at the halfway point of the milling process. Okay, opponent starts making elementals. Big swing here from our opponent. Oh, I was going to say the Wandering Minstrel swings? Okay, guess not. Oh. Swing? Yes? No? Opponents? No swing. Okay, that works in our favor. Okay, make a mill. They still have 3 cards in hand, though, and we're a little bit low on protection. But this might still work out in our favor, though. Core Celebrant. Okay. Come on, deck. We can do it. I know we can do it this time. Gain life. Pumps up both Aerith and Voice of the Blessed. Get Star Charter to get pumped up again. Gain more life. There we go. Okay. Now, I think we're in a good spot here. Unless if our opponent has some kind of way of blocking flyers, I think we might have this. Okay, so they do transform, but it doesn't matter upon it. It's still tapped, so you can't block with it. Did we get them? There we go, everybody. We got them with the beatdown plan here. Not how I was expecting to get our win, but hey, I will take it. All right, first win of the day, everybody. Took a little longer than I was expecting, but hey, I'll take it. Not the mill win, but a win is still a win, so I will be happy to get that one. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead. Let's try to do maybe one more budget game with this, and then we'll upgrade the deck to see what we can do if we really want to take it to the next level. Okay, but you can see there, with a little bit of time, you can definitely get a win here and there with the deck. Although, the biggest advantage we have, of course, is we need to make sure we can keep the life gain going. We can keep the life gain going, we can keep sponging hits against decks that don't hit that hard. But as you kind of saw there, it can get a little tricky just because sometimes the protection we do want is not quite there yet. If our opponent does not have any spot removal, our deck can definitely thrive a lot more. Okay, so this time around, okay, so we have plenty of lands, which is great. Put on the island first. Our opponent is playing Tifa here, so that means we're expecting a big swing. We need to start sponging and creating a ton of life, as much as possible. If you are interested, of course, we did build a Tifa deck a couple weeks ago, so check that out if you haven't already done so. It's built for Pioneer, but it still works really well. Let's see. We don't have any plays this yet, so we'll play the Abandoned Campground. No value yet, but that's okay. We can get down Hope next turn. Okay, Tifa coming down. Okay, Ritual Rejuvenation will be nice. Let us play Hope. So, we literally just need to survive a turn here, so we can start getting all of our stuff to go off here. Sink into Stupor will be nice once we can get to that point. Opponent. Snakeskin deal. Alright. Trying to get Tifa going. Okay. Can we outpace her, though? That's going to be the hardest part. Loot. She getting the pump. She's swinging. No blocks. Down to 21. Okay, so we take the first hit, but that's okay. Cleric class. That's good too. Okay. Cleric class. And what do we want to do here? Draw 4 life. Well, Invasion of Dominaria. Gain 4 life, draw a card. Actually, it's 5 life. So, we swing at our own invasion. Do you block, opponent? They do. Hopefully no pump. Nice. Okay, so we did not have to deal with pump, so that means we get to mill 8. Okay. Not too shabby so far. We just, again, need to keep the life gain going, and we should be okay. Ornithopter Paradise. Swiftfoot Boots. No lands? Okay, well, that's good for us. That buys us time. Okay, another island is good here. So this is what we need to keep right now. Sink of Stupor there. Let's see. Play the Inspiring Overseer. Gain a life, draw a card. Actually, we can also Metamorphic Blast too, so I think this is just good no matter what we do. Again, just got to keep the life up, keep the life gain going. We should be fine. Gain life there. Mill 5. So, there's definitely different ways you can play with Hope here. You can play it as a more combo where you're just slinging off a ton of spells and just going with life gain. You can do that. Or, kind of like our plan is just focusing on more of the creatures with incremental life gain here and there. But it's all up to however you want to do it. Okay, opponents. Swinging for 64 there. So, turn it into a little bunny. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, it still didn't work out there. Wait, oh, I forgot it has trample. I mean, we can still block it, but okay, we lost. Well, that was a miscalculation on my end there. All right. Well, Diva got us there, everybody. Dang. I realized even with the spell, I know I messed up on this, because even with the spell, it doesn't turn off her abilities anyway, so, okay, well, I guess that was a miss on my end there. I guess I misread the card. That's my mistake, everybody. Oops. We all make mistakes. Not a big deal. Anyway, moving on from that embarrassment, let's go ahead. Let's actually talk about now what we can do if you want to take this deck to the next level. So let's look at our upgrades for the deck if you really want to go all out with it, because there's definitely a ton we can do with this. So what if we spent a ton of extra rares and mythics? You definitely can go crazy with a deck like this. So with this version here, it is almost a full overhaul of the whole thing. It's going to be a lot more expensive. But don't worry, if you are interested, both links, of course, will be in the details of this stream once we're done. So for the upgraded version here, we're looking at right now, we're going to upgrade to definitely a lot of the more powerful Lifegain stuff. So we're talking about Guide of Souls here. Even though it gets the Alchemy nerf, we're not caring too much about the Alchemy nerf. We just want something that's strong. So Guide of Souls is great here. Keep the Johnny's welcome. We're not going to throw in Authority of the Consoles that slows our opponents down with creatures. So this definitely gives us a major edge and a lot of incremental life gain. Keep the Cleric class, keep your Healer's Hawk, your Sanctifier, of course, Vanguard. You still want your cheap stuff to just make sure we can get things going here. Sarah Ascended is great for the deck because this is incredibly powerful once we can get up to 30 life, which is very easy with this deck. So that means we have a much stronger flyer in the air. Keep your Soul Lord, of course. Speaker of the Heavens now is something you can bring in. You can start making a ton of angels once we gain a ton of life here. We have to gain at least 7 more life than our starting total. So we got to get to the magic number of 32. That's actually good for us. Ruin Crab, of course, stays. Altar of the Brood. Anytime a permanent we control enters, we can make our opponent mill a single card. Not a big amount, but it still helps us out. Ocelot Pride, of course, we have to put this in the deck because this card is absolutely bonkers with the way the deck goes. With all the life gain we get, we can make a ton of cats, and if we can make a bunch of extra tokens, we can gain a lot of extra value there. Dawn's Truce is now going to be our main protection spell that helps us out with the whole game plan here. We can, of course, give our creatures hexproof. We can gift a card to our opponent to give all of our stuff also indestructible until end of turn, so they're good for us overall. In terms of other things that you can use to upgrade for the 2-drop slot here, because I'm trying to remember here if I missed anything. Maddening Cacophony here, so this is just straight up mill for us. If we can get to 6 mana, we can just mill out half of our opponent's deck, which is great for us at the early part of the game. Otherwise here, we'll have Mana Drain here for a much more stronger counter spell for us. Keep the Azorius Charm, keep Faithful Mending. Staggering Insight, of course, stays. Pearl Medallion to make all of our stuff cheaper, along with Sapphire Medallion, so it makes all of our blue and white spells one less to cast, so this is going to be a lot more easier for us to do our thing. We'll use Heliod's Intervention here. We can use this to destroy a bunch of artifacts or enchantments, but ideally, you want this as a massive life gain spell, so this is good for us if we can pull that off. Sanguine Sacrament here, another card a lot of people don't remember anymore, but still great for our deck. We could use this to gain a ton of life, and then we can then put this card back into our library to reuse at a later point. Aerith, of course, stays. Angel of Vitality stays. We have Ghostly Prison here. We're going to kind of make ourselves a bit of a pillow fort kind of deck just to slow our opponent down, mostly because you kind of saw from the original game plan here, if we can make our opponent slow down a ton, we could definitely gain the edge. But this, of course, will help us out here by forcing our opponent to pay 2 for each attacking creature they throw at us. Heliod Sun Crown here, staple for life gain decks. We definitely got to throw that in there. Put +1/+1 counters on our creatures to make them bigger and stronger and tougher for us, our opponent, to fight. Otherwise here, in terms of other upgrades, Righteous Valkyrie here, we have a lot of angels and clerics in the deck. I think at least, actually we can check ourselves right now. Out of the 30 creatures, half of them are clerics and the other 6 are going to be angels. So that's actually good for us. So that's pretty much going to be a solid hit for us with Righteous Valkyrie to give us a ton of extra power and pump. Teferi's Protection here, another mass protection spell to kind of buy us time if we need to. Werefox Bodyguard here, great spot for removal for us. We can use this to flash it in, get rid of something. If we do need to sacrifice it, we can then gain 2 life. Bruvak, the Grand Delinquent here, I'm pretty sure I don't have to explain this card. Anytime we do milling, we can double the mill up. So this is, of course, it has to go into the deck no matter what. We're going to upgrade one of our enchantments here to Fraying Sanity. So of course this is great for us because we can then curse a player here, and then they have to mill an X amount of cards, where X is the number of cards we put into their graveyard anywhere this turn. So if we mill them, basically it just helps double up the mill. We'll throw in, of course, Rhystic Study. I know, some people don't like this card, but of course we're going all out with this deck. So we're going to throw in Rhystic Study here. If you don't like it, you don't have to play it, but of course it gives our deck a massive edge to make sure we can keep churning through our deck. Keeps the tutelages here. Your visions, of course, is going to stay here. We'll keep our counter spells as is. We'll throw it now and absorb. So this will replace the refute here. We can counter a spell and then gain 3 life, so it helps us with sponging hits. We notice that, of course, our deck also has a little bit of a weakness because we don't have ways of protecting Hope. So Mithril Coat will be that answer for us. It flashes itself in. When it enters, you can attach it immediately to a legendary creature, which means that Hope, of course, gets the protection it's going to need. In the 4-drop slot, most of the other upgrades here mostly haven't really changed, but we'll throw in, of course, our own little emergency panic Wrath here with Supreme Verdict. It cannot be countered, so we can guarantee we can get this to go off. Wandering Emperor, another great staple that will help us out here. Flash it in as one of our Planeswalkers here. You can then take it down to gain 2 life and an exile a tapped creature. Make a token if we need to, or put a +1/+1 counter on a creature and give it first strike until end of turn. Exemplar Light stays, of course, which Chandra stays, Charge stays. For the 5-drop slot here, we'll now add an Angel of Destiny here. This can actually give us another way of getting a victory against our opponent here. It says at the beginning of our end step, if we have at least 15 or more life than its starting total, each player this creature attacked will lose the game. So this can give us another instant victory for us against our opponent here. However, mostly, again, the life gain on the main part of the card is actually what we want, so that's actually pretty solid for us. Baneslayer Angel here, another great staple for us. 5/5 gives flying, first strike, lifelink protection, protection from demons, protection from dragons. So quite a bit out there. I suppose you could put in a different angel if you want to. Let me check that out real quick. So there is one angel you can actually pick here if you want to. We're not really heavy on the angel plan, so this is the reason why I picked Baneslayer, also because it's a classic card, so I threw it in there just because. But you have a lot of options in this slot here, so you could throw an Angel of Grace if you're more concerned about just staying alive against more aggressive opponents out there. If you want to, your other option could be Lyra Dawnbringer here. It has still flying, first strike, and lifelink. Gives other angels we control +1/+1 and have lifelink. So your mileage varies here. It really kind of depends on what you want to do. But if we want to, actually, maybe instead of Baneslayer, you know what? We'll throw in Lyra, or you can also throw in, of course, Minwu White Mage here. Gives all of our clerics +1/+1 counters anytime we gain life. So again, you have tons of options for this slot here. So don't feel like you have to pick one of the cards we picked. It can kind of be whatever you want to. Wandering Rescuer also could be good here too, so your mileage, again, varies depending on what you want. Let's throw in actually Lyra. You know what? I'm going to change it out for a moment there. Either way, they're also pretty solid no matter what. And of course, the final card that I forgot to mention real quick is going to be... Hold on one second here. Sorry, going back and forth. Last card, of course, is going to be Dream Trawler here. In the 6-drop slot, this Sphinx, of course, has flying and lifelink. I used to hate dealing with this card, but it's actually a really good finish for any deck out there. Every time we draw cards, get a +1/+0 pump. And, of course, because of that, you can also discard some extra cards to give it hexproof to make sure it's protected. It just does a lot for the value. As far as the extra upgrades, of course, are going to be in the mana base. And, of course, when in doubt, upgrade your mana base no matter what. Always upgrade the mana base before you upgrade the main part of your deck, so that way you have much more consistency with casting your spells. But otherwise, the upgrades now, we're going to go down to 8 plains and 3 islands. We'll have an Agonjo here. We have Jador Aristocratic Capital here, a townland. It enters tapped, or you can use a sorcery side at 6 mana to mill an opponent's library, at least half of it, rounded down. So great for us if we want to use that. Otherwise, it's going to be all the upgraded dual lands that we can afford. So Akadar Waste, Deserted Beach, Flood Farm Verge, Glacial Fortress, Hallowed Fountain, Pathway Land, Meticulous Archive here, Seachrome Coast, Temple of Enlightenment, Tranquil Cove, of course, because we still want the life gain. And of course, we'll still keep some of our cheaper fetch lands. So again, the Broker's Hideout stores will stay in. But we'll throw in, of course, the upgraded fetch lands. We'll have Prismatic Vista. We'll keep the Obscure Storefront, Mana Confluence for better fixing, Flooded Strand, of course, Staple, Fable Passage, Demolition Field stays, and of course, Command Tower stays. So that's going to be the whole deck for you upgraded. You technically could do a couple more upgrades if you want to, but I think this should be pretty much beefed up as much as we can with what we are working with here. But okay, let's see. Can the upgraded version do better than the budget version? We'll see right now in a bit. All right, let's see. Can this version do better? I'm hoping it does, because we got a couple wins with the other one, but it still didn't perform as well as I was expecting it to. Still, feeling pretty good about this one. Okay. So, as we're loading up our match here, I ask everyone again, your thoughts right now on any of the cards you have seen from Spider-Man. What are your thoughts so far on what we've seen teased right now with Spider-Man? I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully, I don't know. I hope it's going to be overall good. So far, I'm kind of right now on the Spider-Man set, but we'll see where it all goes. Okay, we don't have what we need to cast. We're going to mulligan, and let's see. Okay, this is good. We'll keep this. Keep his hand. All right, Leona Vanguard. So our opponent is definitely a life gain deck themselves. We'll see if that actually hurts us. Temple of Enlightenment. All right, keep the Oscuro storefront. We just need to get Authority of the Console down ASAP. That at least buys us time. Pearl Medallion. Okay, opponent's getting their fixing going. Must be nice. But that's okay. We do have our fixing too. So Authority of the Consoles. We will Obscuro storefront. Again, game plan is just trying to get our stuff down here, and we were going to slow down our opponent as much as we can. Get a plains, gain some life. So Hope can come out next turn, which is good. Daxos. Tapped. So we do gain some life, which is good. Just slowing our opponent down. Looks like our opponent's kind of, yeah, they're all in on the game, the life gain. But let's see if that actually works in their favor versus us. Okay, Jador might be helpful later. Hope coming down. Deserted Beach. Leona Vanguard. No mill just yet, that's fine. Just setting ourselves up here. Box Amber. Another Tampland would be nice here. Okay. Opponent is using Hallowed Priest too, and they're gaining their life quick on it. Legion's Landing. I wonder if I could have put in Legion's Landing 2 into the deck. Okay, now Hallowed Priest is getting a little too big for comfort here, but we'll try. Opponent swings. Go back to 25. Nice, we got a Fatal Passage. That's perfect. Very nice. Okay, so with that, let's get out of planes. Put Exemplar of Light. So now we have a big angel that can start gaining life. And pump. Draw a card too. So, nothing yet. Mill one card. Ooh, we got the Chromox. That's good. So now we just have to stall out. Elspeth. Ooh. Well, at least it's not the Elspeth that... Oh. Okay. Well, our Exemplar still keeps getting life, and we can still keep drawing cards, which is nice. But this now at least helps us keep pace with the Hallowed Priest. At least for now. Ooh. Going a little faster than I thought, though. Opponent swings. And swings. Okay. Okay, we don't have a choice here, so we do have to block. Actually, block with Hope. And at least get a little bit more life. Go back up to 2, so we're at 19. Okay. Nyx Fleece Ram is not bad. But we are running out of time. Our opponent is actually going faster than I thought they were. Let's see. This gets us... Put the ram down. Okay, gain some life. Draw another card. If only this had Vigilance, that would be nice. We could take out... Actually, you know what? Actually, we could take it out. Elspeth down. That probably should go anyway, so... Down. Okay. Mill a card. Okay, so that Hallowed Priest is scary, but we do have to take up the shield, which can help us out a bit. All we just need to do is just survive a sponge a hit here. But it is going to try to get some life here. That pumps up our Exemplar again. Well, actually, once we get the life. Okay, so they flip the Legion's Landing. Take up the shield. What do we put it on, though? I guess we'll put it on the ram. So we sponge Hallowed Priest. At minimum, that's all we want to sponge. Fatal over on Twitch there has followed. Thanks again for the follow, my fighter friend. And thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Alright, draw a card. Okay, we got the Rhystic Study. I'm not sure if Rhystic Study will help us now, but we will try. Prismatic Vista. Hey, hello. How are you doing today? Again, hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay. We're still just trying to find a way to get out of this mess here. So let's see. Wind Crystal will be nice, but the double life gain won't help us all that much right now. And then Mithril Coat can still help us survive a hit. That leaves us with 3 mana open. Can't wait for tomorrow, and I'm good. Well, what's happening tomorrow? Are you playing with the F&M? Or is it something else? I guess we'll play the Ristic Study for now. We'll get a ton of cards once we can go off with it. But we'll wait. Gain some life. Build 2 cards, okay. So, we just now need to outpace the Hallowed Priest. That's literally our game plan right now. We just have to find a way to just survive. Gideon. Okay. Opponent, do you pay the 1? They do. Okay, that's fine. I mean, we have plenty of cards, so that's not a problem for us. We just need to survive with Mithril Coat here. Okay, they tap. We gain life from that. Okay, draw another card. Demolition Field. Okay. Now, all we just need to do is just sweep away their stuff, and we should be okay. Or at least, like, just destroy that Hallowed Priest. That's the biggest threat right now. We don't care how much life they gain. We just want to mill them out. Okay, opponent is doing big swings again, so Mithril Coat coming in. Attaches to Hope. So with that, we can start blocking things here. So let's get rid of Daxos. Block here with Hopes, because it's indestructible now. We can also block the Vanguard. And we go from there. Okay, down to 5. Back up to 7. Edge of Eternities, I get top pick up for a Collector's Booster Box. Nice! Hopefully you get some good hits. Hopefully you get some really sweet cards from that set. Okay, so in the meantime, let's see here. Plains. And let's see. How much can we afford with this? That's instant speed, so I guess we'll do this now. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? Gain a ton there. Go back up to 18. 19. Okay, so take out Gideon. Planeswalker down again. Nice. Alright. Mill 12. Sorry about it. Alright, threat 69. I know what I said. But for reals. Okay, Ristic Study again. Do you pay the 1? They do. Still getting the life, which is good. Keep drawing cards. So we have tons of cards. Oh, we have a Fairy's Protection too, so we do have another way of surviving hits here. We'll eventually get rid of that Adonto. That Hallowed Priest, though, still has to find a way to go. We will find a way to get around it, though. But as long as Hope still has Indestructible, we can still keep sponging hits off of it, so that's not horrible for us. The other Vanguard gets blocked here. So, down to 8. Go back up to 11. Draw another card. Okay. Oh, Werefox Market. Okay, that's beautiful. That's actually what definitely we could use that. So, let's see. We'll play the Wind Crystal finally. Cheapens our stuff. And then we'll wait on the Maddening Cacophony, though. Hinterland Sanctifier. Do we do this now? I guess we'll do this now. Gain some life again. Up to 20. No attack still. Negative penalty, mill 3. Okay. 3 lands. Okay. So we have now ways of surviving the hits. Opponents. Oh. Okay, I guess we gotta do the... We don't have a choice. We gotta do this now. So, Hallowed Priest goes bye-bye. Say goodbye. Our opponent does have an Elish... Oh, and there you go, everybody. There we go. They had enough. Victory for us. Yeah. Again, we didn't get the mill plan off, but we kind of controlled them enough where we were able to stabilize no matter how many swings they did. So, victory. All right. Feel good about that one. Feel good. Let me know in the comments also, everybody. Is anybody else doing pre-release for Edge of Eternities tomorrow or this weekend? Or are you waiting for your box to come in for whichever you order, like booster box, bundle, collector's boosters? Let me know. I would love to hear from you guys about, what you're hoping for. I'm really looking forward, of course, to building and, of course, getting ready for rotation, because we can definitely start doing finally some more standard decks that actually will stick around on the format for quite a while. I do already have an idea of what I want to brew for the first stream we'll do. We're going to try to scramble and slap together something, because literally once I get the cards, I only have like a day to kind of figure it out. But don't worry, we will definitely have some ideas and fun stuff coming up. All right. Bring it on, opponents. Let's go.
Time to duel.
Okay, so let's see. Secret Coast. So we got our lands, which is good. Plenty of life gain. I think we keep this hand. They are playing Shelob, though, and Shelob actually will get a lot of spider support from the Spider-Man set coming up. I have no idea how that's going to look, but maybe they'll get something interesting. We'll see on that one. Let's see. Let's get down to Seachrome Coast. Hinterland Sanctifier. Get our life gain package going. Okay, got a plains. That's good. Let's see. Do we do this now? I guess we can mill one card. Okay, down to 24 opponents. First hit on us. All right, so what else you got, opponents? Fatal. I want Anti-Causal Vestige, the Chalks, Nexus of Fate, Ancient's Tomb, Burgeoning, and Tunnock Steadfast II. There's definitely a lot of good stuff on the sheet, though. Ancient Tomb would be a sweet hit to get, but knowing my luck, I probably won't get it. Hopefully, again, you get something really awesome from it overall. I really hope you do. Okay, Angel Vitality. Get some life there. 2 swings here. Opponent's down to 20, and we mill 5. Nice. Ooh, we managed to mill Orcish Bowmasters and cut down. Phew. Okay, well, at least now that means we get to survive for a little bit. Okay, opponents. Blowing up our land already. I mean, that's fine. I don't really mind that. Let's get the plains down. Opponent, what you got? Okay, they got a forest. Snow-covered. Okay. Oh, you mean the shocks. For some reason, I don't know why I read it that way. But yes, the Shocklands are coming back to standard, everybody, so I'm happy about that. And that does mean the prices will go down even more for it, which is great for any player out there. Salinity Vision's tapped. Staggering Insight. You know what? We're just going to go all in. Let's just get aggressive here. Swing big time here. Down to 13. All right, opponents. The clock is ticking, and we are getting a ton of mill off of this. Hey, we're getting the mill and we're getting the beatdown plan. Didn't think we would, but it's working. Into the north. Opponent's still ramping. Okay, so we got a Dawn Shrews. That's actually going to be... Oh, okay. Our opponent has had enough. All right, victory for us again. We're not getting the mill victory, but hey, I'll take a victory any way I can. So there you go. Lots of milling, lots of damage to our opponent's face. So yeah, it's working. That's actually pretty fun. Okay, so with that, doing pretty good here with the upgraded version. So we definitely have a lot of stuff we'll chat about once we get to the end there. Sneaky Toilet, no, I promise I missed the show. Hey, hello, Sneaky Toilet. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. You actually are not missing... I mean, we're still going to be playing for a little bit longer, Sneaky Toilet, so thanks again for that. I mean, I'm still looking at the clock. I know I don't play, like, the longest amount of time, but we still got at least about 30 minutes to go. That's good, right? That's still enough time for you to catch some of the fun action. Fatal. Well, they'll go down, then spike up again because of standard. Well, again, you're not wrong. Hopefully, I could try to time it where I can get at least a couple of playsets for some of the 60 card decks that I have. Worst case scenario, I can at least buy a couple of singles. Maybe I can crack a couple of them, hopefully. That I can at least use to run commander decks. But ideally, I would ideally like to get sets for them for my 60 card decks. I know a lot of people, it seems like these days, don't play 60 card, but I still would like sets of some of them. At least, hopefully, we'll see what we can do. Okay, so let's see here. Not a very land-heavy hand, but we can still get our life gain going here with this hand. So, Flood Farm Verge into Healer's Hawk. Opponent is playing Ureni. We played Ureni a while ago, but still a powerful card. Really good. I actually do have a copy myself that I actually cracked in one pack. If y'all didn't see that, I do have those booster pack videos, so check those out if you haven't already done so. Although half of the time I'm just wasting my money. Okay, so with this, let's get down Let's get down to Fairy's Tutelage now. We draw a card. Nice. Okay, so with that, what do we get rid of, though? Let's get rid of the Sacrament. Mill 2 cards off our opponent there. Swing. Ooh. We got rid of their Niv Mizzet. That's a big hit for us. Okay. But yeah, if anybody is actually collecting paper right now, now would be a good time to get some of those reprints. Shocklands are going to be good for a little while, so I would highly recommend for everybody out there, if you haven't already done so, plan ahead for that. Of course, those low prices won't last forever, so get them while you can. Putting Hope down. We swing. Need some life. Mill 1 card. Okay, we got the Mox Jasper off of them. That's good. And then here, we have a couple options. We can either use Priest of Ancient Lore, or we can use the Water Crystal to mill a ton, a lot faster. This depends on what our opponent plays here. They have... Ooh, Screaming Nemesis. Ooh. Ugh. That might not be something we want to see too much of, but we'll try to get around it. Our opponent for 2. We do have a Werefox Bodyguard as well, so... Swing above. Gain some life. Mill 5. Okay. We're still making progress. We're about 1/4 of the way there. Crawling Mirrens. Laughless. Oh, Dragon Queen. Okay. Maybe that might be the better hit for us with Werefox Bodyguard. I also realized I originally had Baneslayer Angel. That actually would have been helpful for us. Maybe I shouldn't have switched out Baneslayer Angel. But okay. It's fine. It's fine, everyone. We're still going to be good here. Okay, Broker's Hideout. Alright, Mill 6. I love the card, by the way. Some life. We will get out in Island. Get some more life. Lyra would be good here, but Werefox Bodyguard, while they're tapped down now, probably is our best hit. Get rid of Laplace. We swing here for free. Down to 16. Mill a ton. All right, we're doing it, guys. We're getting there. We're making progress. Of course, Ureni is still going to be the worst thing we're going to have to deal with once she comes in, but we'll see if we can still try to find a way to fight around all this. Okay, they swing. No blocks. If we have to deal with that one enchantment that blows away the whole board, that also would hurt us a ton too. Oh, never mind. I literally just said it, and now they just casted it. Okay, so full control, I guess. So if we're going to lose the Werefox anyway, I might as well just sack it. At least gain some life. Dang. Then just jinx myself there. That's okay. We can still do it, everybody. So with this, they hit us for 3, and that means that turns off our light gain for the rest of the game. Ouch. That sucks. We can still pull off the mill plan, though. That's plan B now. We now need to go all in on milling. Okay. We're at least halfway there, though. So, if we can't gain any more life, that literally puts us on a big clock here. Okay, Lyra. She can't gain us life, but she is a beefy blocker, so that does help us out a bit. What's the win-loss ratio so far? Good question. So we only played like about 4 or 5 matches with the budget one in the first half of the stream. For that one, we only got what? 1 victory with the budget one, and we lost 4. So that was kind of bad. But this one right now, we've won. Right now, what is it? I think we won now 2. We're 2 for 2 for this one. But this one might be our first loss with the non-budget one. We'll decline. Still want to keep Lyra around so we can still sponge hits from the dragons. But I think they're going to catch up right now with dragons a lot. We can't even have life to stabilize, so we're literally on the clock right now. Ristic Study would be nice, but it might be too late. Okay. Ristic Study would be beautiful with a water crystal if we only had a little bit more time, but I think we're out of time at this point. Priest of Ancient Lore. We can draw a card. Can't gain life, though. Mill him a ton. Down to 41. But still not enough. Dang, that life gain turning off really kind of crippled this whole game plan here. So that's something we'll talk about, of course, near the end of the game. I guess we'll play Risk Study just for hilarity. No attacks. Yep, you're welcome. Are you playing a 100 card? Yes, we're playing right now for today Brawl. On streams, I mix and match it at different times, depending on, again, my mood and kind of whatever kind of inspires me. Sometimes the decks don't work out. Sometimes they work out great. It kind of really depends. Primarily, I am a Pioneer, and I guess I would say Standard. Pioneer, Standard, and Brawl are my main ways of playing and streaming. Sometimes we'll play some Timeless. I do like Timeless, although I don't like Alchemy cards, which is also the reason why I don't really play Historic like I used to. I used to be primarily a Historic player, but once we got Explorer/Pioneer, and then once we got Timeless, there wasn't really a reason for me to go back to Historic, if anybody's curious. Okay, our opponent here pretty much has the edge, so we'll just hit the Demanding Dragon, and we'll take our L. It's okay, everybody. Our first one with the non-budget one is okay. It's not a big deal. Opponent here is going to try to just keep pumping, because they can. Not a big deal for us. Okay. All right, opponent, you've made your... Okay, opponent, that's not necessary. Ouch. Okay. And we take it here. That's okay, everybody. Not a big deal. Wins and losses come. It's okay. We still did pretty good so far with the deck. We've gotten quite a few wins, so I'm happy with the non-budget one, although it is very expensive. I think, of course, I'll leave a link for all of you, but if you're curious right now off the top of my head, I think the budget one is, I think, $64 to build, if you want to build it in paper, and it's about 14 rares on Arena. That's pretty good for a 100-card deck. For the non-budget one we're playing right now, you probably don't want to pay the price. I think right now it's going to be like $650 if you want to play the version we're playing right now in paper, which, unless if you got those deep of pockets, I probably would not recommend this in paper. Definitely if you can afford it in Arena, have fun with it, but just way too expensive, at least in paper. Okay, any case, okay, we have fetch lands aplenty, so we can fix our stuff perfectly here. We do have a Wrath, we have Protection, and we have a Counterspell. Opponent's playing Cormella here. I have never played against this card, so I have no idea if I'm going to get completely wrecked or I might actually be able to squeak a win out. I guess it depends. Because it really depends on what our opponent's doing here. So with that, let's play our Flooded Strand and we'll pass. Let's see. Oh, also, I forgot to mention also from over on Instagram there. So we also have J. Kelly TCG. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. I do apologize if I didn't see you earlier there. So sorry. Just again, chat has not been set up where we can have Instagram comments, but someday we'll get that done. And I also see on here the Gains Warden also joining us. Thanks again for that as well. Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Also commenting and saying, just proxy it. You're not wrong. I mean, if I'm going to... I try not to proxy too much, but there are some cards that are just stupidly expensive. Anything that's like hitting double digits already kind of has me a little So any expensive cards that I have in my paper decks, mostly I was able to get those when they were at least somewhat cheap. At least back in the day. But now, I haven't really bought too many cards recently just because everything's so expensive. I would like to get more Final Fantasy cards, but yeah, some of the stuff on there is just... It's just not fun to collect those if you actually want to collect the genuine stuff. But yeah, I'm not against proxying. If you want to proxy to make your deck, you know, what you want and have fun with it, go nuts. But yeah, even I have my limits. I think the most expensive card I have is what? I think it's the One Ring from the gift box from Lord of the Rings. And that card just keeps going up in price. It's just ridiculous. I mean, every box that had one, you guaranteed were able to get a copy of the One Ring. But even so now, the One Ring is, what, $100 for the cheapest copy? That's just ridiculous. All right, let's crack our Prismatic Vista to get our basic. And let's get out... Let's get on an island. Okay, so we got Righteous Valkyrie coming, so that's good. Still got a little ways to go before we get to that, so tap there. And let's play Hope. And hopefully, see what I did there? Hopefully it doesn't get blown up. Fatal. I have a $1,500 commander deck in paper. Wow. For reals? Like, was this built over time though? Or was this something that you actually just dropped the cash on in one go? I think my most expensive paper deck is probably like $400 right now. But again, I was building that since 2017. And the current form right now, it took quite a few years to get to the cards I'd like. But yeah, it took time. There was no way I was going to spend $400+ straight up. For reals though. Wow, that's amazing. But what is it if you don't mind me asking? What are you rocking? What commander is it? What's the strategy? I'm curious to know. Okay, opponent's playing Bastion Remembrance. Okay, so we're going to be dealing with a little bit of sacrifice here with their spell slinging. Interesting. Very interesting, opponents. Let's see. How do we deal with this? I think we'll play Witch Enchanter this time. So with this, what do we throw up, though? Arcane Signet, Bastion Remembrance. Let's pull up the Wizard class. The life gain and drain is not something I worry about because we already can gain life ourselves. So that's not something I worry about. Oh, they have Lightning Bolt. Okay, they bolt our commander. Put it back into the command zone. That's fine. We take out at least one of their pump engines. Oh, it's Amanatu the Fate Shifter. Oh, it's a combo flicker deck. Okay, I see what you're doing there. Okay, that's cool though. Man, I had years ago an option to get that precon, but I was just like, I'll skip over it. Nowadays, it just feels like there's just too many precons. Like, there's a lot of good stuff out there. Like, the one deck I hope to bling in the future when I can, I would love to bling out an energy deck that I have. It's a 5-color energy deck right now, and I actually love it. It's fun, but it is definitely very janky on the mana base. Hopefully in the future, the dream is to actually get that completely blinged out so I can actually play a lot more with it. Wow. I'm sure that, have you played that deck a lot? Is that like your signature deck? Let's see. In the meantime here, let's see. How do I want to do this here? Okay. Righteous Valkyrie. Lunarch Veteran. Gain some life. After that tapped, we swing with our Witch. Down to 23. So, we could turn on Righteous Valkyrie with just the right cards here, and thankfully we do have some clerics here we can make this work with. But we'll see if it's enough. Stock up. Amazing card, by the way. Still expensive, by the way, for an uncommon. Alright, Bajuka Bog. So they will exile our graveyard. We don't really care about that. I mean, we didn't have anything we needed to reanimate anyway, so that's fine. Okay, opponents. What else you got? Okay, still got the Bastion. Okay, they still have plenty of mana. Winter Night Stories is something. Okay, so we got a mana drain. That's good. We definitely could use that. Priest of Ancient Lore, just to draw another card. Opponents? Okay. Get the trigger off. That's good. Life, life, life. All right, draw another card. Leyline of Hope. That'll be good for later. I forgot to talk about this card, too. Did forget that this card is also what added to the deck. So Leyline of Hope, if we got that in opening hand, would have been perfect. Even though we don't get it, we can still cast it and then still get a ton of extra life. So, life gain abound. Down to 21. They will drain us, but that's fine. Not a big deal for us. I'm waiting to see if they have anything bigger before we play the Sheltered by Ghosts. So that's our biggest thing I got to be concerned about. Opponent has 6 cards. Search will flip eventually. So maybe the next turn might be the turn I have to do it. If we can get another land, that actually would be perfect. Fatal. Yeah, it's my signature deck. I play it whenever I play Bracket 4. Other than that, I play precons. Oh, okay. Interesting. That's cool. Okay, Brawl cannot resolve. So we're going to counterspell that while we can. Opponent, do you have an answer, though? Oh, they have that counterspell, too. Oh. Ugh. Okay, well, that's not good. It's okay. We still have ways of getting around stuff, everybody. We're down, but we're not out. Okay, they make an otter.
I need some help.
Okay, so Sheltered by Ghost might have to come in next turn. It's not ideal, but we can. Curse Protection will be good for later use. So in the meantime, on the Righteous Valkyrie. And then, let's see, actually, we'll have to take care of Brawl.
I blame it on the tail.
We swing. Get some life. Go up to 27. You have about 6 precons? Ooh, nice. Do you just pick up... I mean, is there a certain gameplay style you enjoy? Is there certain kinds of ways you like to play? And you have your signature Amanatu. Nice. How long have you been playing for? Opponents. Dramatic stories, okay. They draw 3. They discard 2 unless they discard a creature card. Alright. Is throw away the Displacer Kitten. Interesting. Ton of mana still, but we do have at least an absorb if we need to. Ooh, damnation. Okay. So, we absorb. Phew. Okay. Avoid the wrath. At least for 1 turn. If we can get up to 2 more life. Sapphire Medallion, okay. 2 more life can help us with Righteous Valkyrie pump up everything. At least, hopefully we can pull this off. Okay, nothing. Down to 26. Annoying, but that's okay. Command tower. Do we have enough to protect ourselves? No, we don't. We'll just swing here. Beatdown plan it is. Up to 29. We now have to keep Teferi's Protection open just in case for a turn. Okay, so they make their mana. Oh, you've been playing for 20 years now. Nice. Consistently 20 years? That's impressive. Very impressive. Okay. 2 more cards. Opponent, what else you got? I think this might be the... Okay. You pay the 2 opponents? They do. Alright, and Teferi's Protection our way out of this. Okay, 1 card in hand, opponent. There's no way you have a counter strike. Nice. Okay. So we keep ourselves alive for a little bit here. Opponent does play their Kanta. They have 2 treasures open. Still have ways of cheating stuff out for cheaper. Impulse. Okay, they do use it. Bumping up their otter, but it doesn't really matter because they can't get through us anyway. You're a combo player at heart, regardless of infinite or not, but any color is fine by me. Ever since 9th edition. Nice! And there you go, everybody. Our opponent has had enough. Nice! Again, we didn't really get the mill off, but we were able to just control our opponent just enough to maintain and stabilize. Oh man, that was good. We were about to go with the... We're going to get another beatdown win there, but okay. So right now, 1 loss with the upgraded deck and 3 wins. At some point, I really do need to kind of install some kind of like win-loss record thing. So I'll do that in the future. Note to self. Okay. Looking at the clock right now, and as a reminder for also that are new viewers out there, whether you're watching live or on the replay, we can't stream as long as I'd like to. I'd like to, of course, stream at least... Ideally, I would like to do the 3 hours, but we have not been able to do 3 hours. 2 hours is usually the best I can do, mostly just because this little fireball has a lot of obligations that he has to take care of. So the small time that you see right now that we've been squeezing in is the best I can do today. I still appreciate all your support, everybody. And again, if you do want to help us out a little bit more, again, like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're watching the content so you don't miss on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck techs, and so much more. I know the bot has kind of been spamming, of course. If you want to, supporting us, of course, financially would be wonderful, but you don't have to do that. Don't feel obligated to. The Patreon that we do have allows you to get access to all of the extra bonus videos that we do. Mostly it's just going to be a lot of raw footage of me doing works in progress of deck techs that we are going to do in the future. Sometimes there are even decks that we never get to make fully, at least into actual deck tech videos. Again, it just depends. But even so, for free, you can also just join our Discord here, where we have a lot of fun, where we can just chat with anybody about whatever. It doesn't always have to be Magic. We still hang out with a bunch of cool people out there. Any and all support you have would be greatly appreciated. All links, of course, will be in the details of this video once we are done with the stream later on. We are getting, of course, close to the end, but once we are done with the gameplay, we will do a quick little wrap of how we feel about the decks overall, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And of course, for those of you that stick around to the very end of the stream, you'll get a sneak peek as to what are we building and what are we going to be playing for the next live stream. The way I have my schedule is a little bit funky this week, but I think we can actually squeeze in a stream maybe tomorrow. So I usually don't do back-to-back streams. Usually our streams are always on Wednesdays and either Friday or Saturday. This week, however, was a little bit goofy, so we'll be doing a stream tomorrow, ideally, at least probably at around the same time as today. So that's where the game plan is for those of you that are curious about where we're at. All right, in the meantime, let's see here. They have flubs. We did play flubs on April Fool's Day, and flubs is hilarious when you can get them to go off. Very tricky. Very tricky card to play with, but a lot of fun, actually, if you really are good with your combos. Okay, in the meantime, let's get out of the plains. Alright, opponent. Werefox will be good to lock down flubs at some point, so we may have to do that. Tranquil Cove. Sarah. 3 more life, and we can get her pumped up. So it actually would be great for us, if we can get there. Okay, opponents. What else we got? Okay, another forest. Vigorous farm. Oh, opponent. Playing alchemy cards. Gross. That's okay, though. Not the worst thing for us, but we do have ways of getting around things here, so... I don't want to do it this way because it's kind of redundant, but it's okay. Shelter by Ghosts. Gets rid of their alchemy card. We swing. Up to 29. At least Sarah now is protected for a bit. Fatal, you should deck tech my Onomatu. I even have a combo list on the primer of the website, so that way you know what combos I'm doing. Nice! Might be have a chance to look at that. And I forgot to mention, like, for those of you... Oh, okay. Wow, opponent actually is going to use Cyclonic Rift here. Okay. Well, that's a choice. Okay, Righteous Valkyrie. Okay, how do we do this here? Let's get the Priest. We'll take damage. We want to see if we can get Sarah to flip, so that's what we want. We'll have to do it this way, so we're going to have to be kind of like fluctuating back and forth here with life. That's okay. Sarah should be able to go off next turn, hopefully. Okay, so Fable Passage. Oh, they got their goofy little stuff here with alchemy cards. I know. I won't go into a rant again, everybody, but again, say no to alchemy cards. They just don't feel right in the game. Okay, here comes Flubs. Flub's gonna do Flubs things. Okay, so they discard card. Opponents. Anything else? Row for the Ashes, okay. They draw a card. And they will get 2 lands out. Okay. Okay, so far so good. Let's see here. What do we want? Let's see here. I guess... Dang, everything's in an awkward, like, mana. At least one more would have been nice. Oh, Whispered. Okay, I'll check that out in a bit. Let's see here. Let's see. I guess Righteous Valkyrie probably is the best thing to do. We swing with both. Okay, opponents. Obviously, they'll block the Priest. That's fine. We're done 22. We go to 29. Ooh, we're so close to, like, triggering off Sarah here and then triggering off Righteous Valkyrie, which would be exciting to do here. 1 more land. That's all we need. And our opponent right now is kind of fizzling on their combo, but maybe we can get them before the combo goes off for Flubs. Definitely not an easy card to build around, but it was fun when we were able to actually pull off a combo deck of our own on a budget. Okay, opponents. Digging for their land. Okay, anything else, opponent? Okay, anytime now, opponents. Come on. Can't take too long to get out of basic. Okay, so while our opponent is taking their time with this, other question I do want to ask everyone here is, what are you currently playing? Or are you waiting for more cards to drop from Edge of Eternities? Let me know, everybody. I would love to hear from you on what you're currently brewing up. Okay, our opponent is completely tapped out now, which is good, so hopefully this means we can do our thing. We do have Promising Vein, though, so they will get out another land. That's fine. Okay. Cool. So this is good for us. We're right where we want to be. So with that, I guess now's the time. Get Hope going. Speaker of the Heavens. There we go. That's the life we wanted. There we go. Now we're pumped up. Now we should be in control of this fight. Hopefully before they go off. Nice. Pumps up everything. And then mill 7. Oh man, this is good. Okay. They do draw a card. But did they hit anything that can help them? They did not. They drew it on the card. Okay. Evolving Wilds does get sacked. Okay. Anything else, opponents? And there we go, everybody. That is the game for you, everybody. Nice. Victory once again. Again, not a flashy one, but we'll take it. Okay, so just as to hedge my bets right now, because also I don't want to fall behind, I might think, oh, jeez, yeah. I think we might have to end it here now, everyone, because there's something else that's also been kind of bothering me off to the side. But this is, again, a personal matter. So we'll end it here. But before we go, let's, of course, talk about our whole deck and everything that happened today. So that was our Life for Mill deck, everybody, utilizing Hope from Final Fantasy. So you tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? Truth be told, the budget version was okay, although we didn't really get to do anything super flashy. It was okay, although it was very clunky, a little bit more clunkier than I thought it was going to be. So it's not bad. It's a good starting point if you want to give it a try, but if you really want to get more value out of the deck, you really want to upgrade the deck as much as possible. The upgrades, of course, were amazing. As you saw, we were able to kind of go with not just a plain Hope Mill deck. You literally could just beat down with stuff if you want to and just get a bunch of pump. So that's a good, solid backup game plan for the mill process itself. The only thing I probably would change for the deck is I probably would actually add in something that's consistent graveyard hate, because I realized the deck actually could use graveyard hate in case we dealt with any graveyard shenanigans. Thankfully, we did not deal with that today at all, so that wasn't something I worried about, but that's something, again, to consider in the future. As far as tweaking other things here, you could go into a subcategory with Hope here if you want to do like Angels or just Flyers or just like more mill with a combo. Either way, you still have a ton of options for you. You could just go combo Lifegain stuff, or you could just do whatever you feel works with it. I kind of did a bit of a hodgepodge, but some way, somehow, we were able to cobble together some wins, so I'm actually pretty happy with that one. Oh, Fatal, I'm waiting on Edge of Eternities for Anti-Casual Vestige to upgrade my Anamatu to a single card. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of cards. Speaking of which, I did forget to mention there is one amazing card that's coming from the Edge of Eternity set that actually will be perfect for Hope here. So that card, if you haven't already checked it out, definitely see. I think it's an Azorius card. It makes you gain a ton of life, and it helps you mill a ton too. I can't remember the name right now. I would have to look it up real quick. What's it called? Let me look it up real quick for you guys. Let's see. So I'm looking right now, like on my secondary screen right here, to see what that card is. It's from Edge of Eternities, so it's a multicolored card. It's an Azorius card. Let's see if I can find it right now. Oh yeah, Space-Time Anomaly. So that card itself, amazing card, perfect for this deck, and will be an instant staple. So Space-Time Anomaly, and I'm really just reading it off from my secondary monitor. It's a 4-mana sorcery that reads, target player mills cards equal to your life total. So if you can get that with Hope here, man, you can basically just win the game possibly on the spot with one card. It actually can be great for you. So something to consider as an upgrade for this deck if you actually want to take this deck to the next level with at least that. But that's pretty much it, everyone. I mean, I know it wasn't anything too flashy here, but at least we can prove that you can do milling with this deck. But realistically, Hope, I think, is actually more better off as like the commander that can support milling if you needed to. You can still just go with a straight beatdown plan with Lifegain, and it still does great as is. I still had fun with it. I still appreciate it. So just the same, your mileage varies depending on how you want to do it. Now, before we go, and of course, as always, for those of you who stuck around this far into the video, thank you so much again for your continued support, everybody, because before we go, my true fire friends, you kind of get a little sneak peek as to what are we going to do tomorrow morning for our next live stream. So we're going to be doing, we want to do one more Saga deck. I know we just did one with Yuna and doing a Naya Saga / Enchantment Reanimator deck, but I wanted to really play with Terra. Terra's a really sweet card, so we're going to go all out for the final Fantasy live stream before we start focusing on Edge of Eternities next week. So this is the Saga of Terra here, a 5-color Saga enchantment deck that wants to go all out with her. Honestly, testing her out, I think I had a lot more enjoyable time with her than Tom Bombadil. We tried Tom Bombadil a couple months ago. It was okay on the budget, but I think this one is going to be the one that'll actually go off here. We'll go over again the deck in full tomorrow, so don't worry, that'll be coming. I tried to make the deck as budget as possible, but some of the cards spiked. Originally, the deck was under $100, and I think it's maybe $125 now. Some of the cards actually, again, got a little more expensive, but that is going to be coming up in the future for that. As far as our next deck tech going forward, we'll have basically Zada. So Zada is going to be our next budget deck for those of you that don't want to play with any rares or mythics, the super cheapest you can. The deck itself is only going to be $35 right now currently, so it's actually pretty nice. Good overall if you want to just jump into something and you want to play something simple but highly effective. So we'll talk about that again in our next future video coming up next week, just before we drop Edge of Eternities. And then from that point, we're all in on, of course, on Edge of Eternities. We're going to be putting together as many decks, space station decks, landfall decks, all kinds of fun stuff coming down the pipeline. So that is something we are looking forward to, and I'm going to be really happy to pull that off once we get there. But again, we're going to need maybe a day or two to kind of rearrange a couple of things just to make sure we can kind of have time to actually build the decks. So with that, I'm looking forward to that too. Let me know again what you would like to see. I'll probably start putting up a poll, maybe if not tomorrow, maybe Sunday, to kind of ask all of you out there on YouTube and of course across socials, what do you want me to build first for our first deck tech? So again, not the streams, a full deck tech in depth as to, how we're looking with Edge of Eternities. I'm looking forward to playing a bunch of stuff no matter what we choose. But either way, that's going to be it for the future, everybody. So thank you all for that one. And hopefully we'll get a chance to do that again soon enough. But again, one more time, final shout out, of course, to everybody that joined today. So thanks again for those of you that popped up for today. Dense Splendid, as always, my all-star Sneaky Toilet. Thanks again for stopping by for just a little bit there. And I do apologize if I kind of missed some chats with you guys. But again, appreciate all of you showing up. Fatal, again, thanks again for joining me today. We'll also have, of course, shout outs to those of you that I see also on other platforms. So Jay Kelly TCG, the Gains Warden, and Necro MTG. I'm sorry if I didn't get a chance to play as long as I'd like to, but again, I got to take care of other things. So got to move on with the day, everybody. Don't worry though. I will be back again tomorrow for, again, another Fiery Fun stream. We'll cram it in some way, somehow in the morning, some way, somehow. But otherwise, that's pretty much it, everybody. Do apologize for rambling, but that's going to be it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know, very short stream, but we'll get a chance to do this again tomorrow. So with that, have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks again for joining us for the gameplay. And we'll see you again tomorrow around the same time. I'll announce it, of course, across socials, no matter where you're at. But as always, before we go, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again tomorrow, everybody. Later.